We are back again with the MPCX. We're going to be quantizing, and just like we were for the past week, what we're doing is following along on the MPCX Bible about the MPCX. I'll just turn it on right now. The Akai Professional MIDI Production Center, or Music Production Center X. You can follow along on another MPC if you have one, but basically I'll be reading directly from the MPCX Bible, so it'll sound like it's first person, but actually you might see something different on your screen because I might not have followed the instructions exactly as they're giving them. Alright, but we're gonna get back into it, load up the my first project from yesterday, and so you'll want to load up the sequence note repeat.sqx. I did it yesterday, so I'm going to see if the sequence is there right now. I don't see it there, so I'm going to go into my browse and go into the MPCX Bible tutorial files, chapter 6, 006, or no, wait. Is that the one we're going to? Maybe we're still chapter 5. Let me see. Quantizing and swing. I think that's where we are. And there should be one called note repeat.sqx. There it is. .sxq. Okay. They have it written wrong. Okay. So back on main mode, we have that sequence loaded up. Using the sequence browser filters. Remember that you can quickly remove the clutter in a folder by using one of the file type filters to only display a certain type of file. So to display only sequences in the chapter 5 folder, press the sequence filter. Okay. If you still have too many files to sift through, remember to utilize the search filter. So I guess you could just search directly from the top. Okay. With the note repeat sequence loaded, select it in main, return to the grid, and hit play start. Okay, so I got the speakers on, the volume's up a bit, hit play start, let's hear it. I recorded most of the sequence using a 1/8 TC. Note the brief pause at the end of the first bar. To create this, I just took my finger off pad A03 temporarily. At the end of the second bar, I used a 1/32 TC to produce a rapid hi-hat roll. Latching note repeat. If you hold down shift and hit note repeat, you put note repeat into latch mode. While latched, note repeat does not need to be held down, and any pad press will get repeated as per your TC settings. Correcting mistakes with undo. If you make a mistake, don't worry, you can undo most actions by simply hitting the dedicated undo button on your MPC hardware. So hit undo once to undo the last action. Hit it 10 times to and press undo again to redo any edits that you previously undid. So let's undo the undo. See how it's written in red underneath, redo. So you can also access your undo history timeline by going to menu and tapping the undo history icon. The undo history icon. Okay. This one right here. On the undo history page, simply tap on the point where you'd like to return your project to, and the MPC undoes everything to that point. Okay, so there's only a couple details, but see what they mean. I can put the line right there, and it'll only go up until that point, and it'll stop the undos right before it gets to the load sequence, I guess. Alright, so methods for copying events. Currently our beat is 2 bars long, which is okay for sketching out an initial idea, but you might begin to find working within a small sequence a bit limiting and somewhat monotonous. Later you can combine multiple sequences into a complete song. However, we can easily extend our current sequence so we can add a bit of variety to our beat. Double length. In main, row pencil icon. Main top row pencil icon. Hit double length and return to grid edit. At the top of the screen, you should see that the sequence length is now listed as 4 bars. Hit play start and you'll see that the MPC has copied and pasted all the events from the original sequence to create a sequence double the length of the original. Double length duplicates the entire sequence. That's all events over all bars over all tracks. With an additional 2 bars to our sequence, we can use some of the techniques discussed in the previous chapter to make some small changes to our new bars 3 and 4. Load up the sequence double length.sxq. Which also contains some overdubs, erases, nudges, and transposition to bars 3 and 4 using the techniques we've been covering in these sequencing chapters. Copying bars. You can also select specific bars to duplicate. Back in main, sequence top row pencil icon, hit copy bars. We can use this screen to copy a single bar or even a range of bars from any sequence. Let's copy just the first bar of our double length sequence. Configure the copy bars screen as follows. Let's look at the settings. The from sequence is the sequence we are copying from. So this is set to our double length sequence. We now need to tell the MPC which bars to copy. We do this by setting a range of bars. In this case, I only want to copy bar 1, so set first bar to 1 and also last bar to 1. This will copy everything from the very start of bar 1 to the very end of bar 1. All events, all tracks. Now, we have to choose the destination. This can be any sequence in our project, but I'm just going to place this copy of bar 1 at the end of our current sequence. So 2 to our current double length sequence. After bar tells the MPC which time location you want the copied bars to be pasted. In this case, I'm telling the MPC to paste after bar 4. For example, at the end of bar 4. As our sequence is only 4 bars long, this will extend the length of our sequence. Finally, I've set copies to 2, and this will paste 2 copies of bar 1 after bar 4, extending our sequence to 6 bars long. To copy the bars, hit either replace or merge. Return to grid edit and zoom out to see the 6-bar sequence. Hit play start to preview. Okay, now we've got a 6-bar sequence like they said. So yeah, just hit play start to preview it, and this is what you should have there. Alright, inserting blank bars. We can also insert blank bars into our sequence, which will give us the opportunity to record completely fresh content inside an existing sequence. Go to main, sequence, row pencil icon, edit, insert bars. With the settings above, we will be inserting 2 blank bars. The number of bars into the current sequence, double length. These 2 blank bars will be replaced before bar 5. Before bar, okay. Now hit do it. And look at our sequence in grid edit. Ah, I see. As you can see, our sequence now features a blank 2-bar segment in bars 5 and 6. The sequence is now 8 bars long. Load up my version insertbars.sxq. extending sequence length. I'm just going to take a sip of water. Hello to everybody. We're about a quarter way through the show. Thank you for tuning in to Twitch or Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, wherever you are. Thank you for joining. If you know anybody with an MPCX, or if you have an MPC yourself, please come here, check it out every day from 10 to 11 Eastern time here in Canada. We'd be glad for you to join this and become a little community. So anybody who is joining us for the first time, welcome, welcome. And after 10 minutes of being in the stream, you can jump in the chat, and please do chat with the other viewers. Make it a more lively conversation around how to use the MPC, and we can all learn together. All right, so take a sip of water and we'll get right back into this. Okay, extending sequence length. If you just want to add some blank bars to the end of a sequence, we can simply extend the entire sequence length by increasing the bars parameter in main or grid edit. Got it. Copying events in grid edit. We can copy and paste a specific range of events directly in grid edit, and there's a couple of ways to do this. Copy or paste with the copy button and paste it at the start of bar 5. The hi-hats are A3 and 4. Okay, so if we go back to grid edit and we zoom in to the hi-hats, we'll do a copy of these here. And simply place it there in bar 5. And first select the zoom tool and magnify the grid around the start of bar 4. Now we must select the events you wish to copy, so choose the select tool and drag around the closed hats, pad A03 row for the duration of bar 4. Then simply hit the hardware copy button like I did. And at this point the MPC copies the selection and simultaneously pastes the copied events literally at the end of the original selection. If you look closely, you can see that the pasted events have actually been placed at the point where last event's duration actually ended. So let's nudge the pasted events so they started exactly 005, 01, 000. Press nudge and turn the data wheel one click clockwise. I've set mine up so mine's lined right up with the beginning there of bar 5, and you should have yours looking the same. This has moved all the events too far, so now turn the data wheel back one click anti-clockwise and the events will snap to the nearest 1/16th quantized point at 005, 01, 000. You could also just drag the events with your finger. Copy and paste to the empty bar 6. Select the zoom tool and drag on screen so the bar 3 hats are in view. As before, choose the select tool and drag around to select the closed hats A03 and single open hat A04 of bar 3. Hold down Shift to reveal the secondary menu. Hit the copy. This copies the selection to the clipboard. Now before we paste our hats, we need to prepare the paste location. First, A03 to select the paste row to be A03. Now locate to the start of bar 6. Either by using your bar keys on the MPCX or by tapping the time locator at the top of the screen and turning the data wheel until you reach 610. What's the bar keys they're talking about? Oh, I'm not sure what they mean by that. Now locate to the start of bar 6 by using bar keys. Bar key. Oh, what? Bar keys. Like, do they mean just like selecting the bar? No, bar keys. Trying to figure this out, what they mean by that. It would be interesting to know what they mean by the bar keys. Unless they mean just these, like the punch-in keys. If I can just hit bar 6 and go do it, I guess. Yes, it looks like it says bars there, so. Oh wait, is that changing the bars because I have bars selected? Yeah. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want it to be 6 bars. I wish I knew what they meant by that, the bar keys. Okay, well, I turned the data wheel to reach 610. I don't know what they mean by the bar keys exactly. We'll figure that out, I guess, later on. Or if anybody knows, please toss it in the chat. It would be interesting to know. Alright, now hold down Shift again, and this time hit the paste button. The copied hats are pasted exactly where you want them to be at 601000 on the A03 row. So let's take a peek. If I zoom in, yeah, looks like, boom, there they are. They're pasted right there. Please note, once you have copied a selection of events to the clipboard, they remain there unless you leave Grid Edit, or if you replace them with a new selection of copied events. Now, let's load up the sequence pasted hats.sxq. Okay. Cut versus copy. The third edit option in the secondary menu is cut, and this can be used to two specific purposes. First, it can be used to effectively delete the currently selected notes, but as the cut notes are also stored on the clipboard, they can then be subsequently pasted anywhere else on the grid. So here the cut function is effectively acting as a move feature. So the cut is right there. I know exactly what they mean. You should too. It's just like on a computer cutting and pasting. Alright. Copying events via main. Hello Annie, my love. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for joining. Thank you for popping by and jumping in the chat. And anybody else that's here, I would be glad if you could jump in the chat as well today. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Alright, copying events via main. Let's now copy some kicks. Firstly, in Grid Edit, select the two kicks. Select the kicks we want to copy. This is important. Here I've selected the first two kicks at the start of bar 4 using the select tool. Now go to main, pencil icon, sequence row, select copy events, and configure as follows. Okay, let's break this down. Under the From section, we've selected our pasted hats sequence. Track 1, which is the drums. We've set a copy range of 410 to 510, i.e. 1 bar. So under the to section, okay, I see the little to right there. From to, okay. In the to section, we've set the destination sequence to pasted hats track 1. With a paste location of 510. We are pasting 2 copies. Finally, notice that I have set selection to read selected events rather than all events. This tells the MPC to only copy the selected events from within the from range. If we had left this set to all events, it would have copied everything between bar 4 and 5. For example, all the hats, snares, and all the kicks. But now it will just copy the 2 kick events we previously selected. Hit merge to ensure the pasting does not remove any existing events in bars 5 and 6. The end result is the 2 selected kick events from bar 4 have been copied and pasted to the beginning of bar 5 and the beginning of bar 6. Load up the sequence copy events SXQ for their version. Which copy-paste method do you prefer? If you are copy and pasting within the same track, the grid method is probably the quickest and most intuitive. For more copying, for more complex copying across tracks and sequences, the main copy events option is the one to go for. Copy events, okay, I gotcha. Alright, just wanted to jump in the chat again, say hello to everybody, happy Valentine's Day, thank you for joining, and if you have an MPCX, please get the MPCX Bible and you can follow along, or if you'd like, you could just listen to me read it to you and you can try and follow along on your own without the file folders that they provide, but I'm here every day 10 to 11 learning about the MPCX. Please tell your friends if they have an MPC to join and we can build a little community where we all learn together. I'm gonna jump in the chat and leave a little emoji for my people. I wonder if I've got a little heart I can for Valentine's Day. Something red maybe. We got the purple bleeding heart for for Twitch. There we go. Hi Annie Dose. Nice to see you in here. Glad we're all able to jump in the chat and throw a few things in there. Anybody else that's viewing, please jump in the chat. Much appreciated. Glad you're all here. There we go, there's some love. Alright, so let's get back into it here. I'll take a little sip of water and we'll continue on. Alright, so now splitting events. We previously used note repeat to produce a real-time series of rapid-fire events based on the current TC settings. But We can also manipulate existing events to transform them into a series of micro events that are effectively note repeats with an incredibly fine resolution. With the copy event sequence selected, head over to Grid, choose the Select tool, and select the hi-hat events at 3, 2, 480. Okay, that's the one. Now head over to Main and tap the pencil icon on the track row. Choose Split Events. This brings up the following window here. With the configuration that we have here, the MPC is going to split the currently selected event into 8 equal parts. Hit Do It and return to the grid. Play the sequence to hear how this new micro note repeat sounds. That was cool. Alright. Very neat. Very, very neat. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm gonna try that out in the next track I make. Now select the hat event at 5, 3, 0. Press Main, pencil icon on the track row, and Split Events. This time select the split into 4 parts. Hit Do It, and this is the result. Go to sequence time 510 and hit play to hear how this type of split sounds. Nice. I like that. Q-Link Playhead Control. While in the grid, you can use Q-Link 2 to quickly move the playhead to your preferred sequence time. Oh, no, Q-Link 2 is down here. If you can see it on the screen, I'm not sure if you can catch that. No, it's not in your screen just because my camera setup is whack. So I'll get that fixed, but for now, just like the pad 2, so pad 2 would be this one here, the second one from the bottom left. It's the same thing for the Q-Links. It would be the second one from the bottom left down here. Woo, you can't see it on the screen though. So let's get back to it here. Q-Link 2 quickly moves the playhead to your preferred sequence time. in the 4 Q-Link MPCs, this is the second Q-Link from the top, column 4. By default, it will move the playhead in 240 tick increments, 0, 240, 480, 720, but hold down Shift to move in 60 tick increments, 0, 60, 120, 180, etc. Otherwise, you can single tap the time locator box at the top of the grid screen and use the data wheel to move in single beat increments. Splitting with ratchets. Select the hat event at 640. Oh, I just happened to pick that. And use the zoom tool to magnify around the event. Okay. Now, expand the automation lane by tapping on the up arrow above the automation button. Use the zoom tool to drag the top half of the screen upwards so that the events are visible on screen. This can be a bit tricky. The MPC can sometimes fight against you, so keep on pushing upwards until the events appear in view. This is actually optional in normal workflows, but I really want you to see what happens to the event when we apply the ratchet. Okay, so all the events are visible on screen. I got you. So the ratchet. Tap on the velocity and turn your data wheel until it reads ratchet. Ratchets are another way of splitting existing track events. However, rather than permanently converting a single event into multiple equally spaced individual events like we did with the split events function, ratchets keep the original single event and just change the way it is played back. Let's apply a ratchet to the hi-hat at 640. Okay. If you look at the bottom of the ratchet line, the ratchet lane, bottom of the ratchet lane. Let's apply a ratchet to the hi-hat at 640. Okay. You can see the short blue bars. Okay, yeah, I see those. And the selected event is actually a lighter shade of blue. Okay, I didn't actually get to select the event though. Okay, now it's a lighter shade of blue. Got it. Okay. This shows the position of the event we want to split with the ratchet. I've never done this before. I'm just following along just like you, so please bear with me. Choose the pencil tool and press down near the bottom on the automation lane directly underneath the hi-hat event you wish to apply the ratchet to. Now push upwards to create a blue bar. Okay, so pencil icon. Oops. Okay. The longer the bar, the more the event will be split. If you look closely, you can see that the event is now virtually split using faint dotted lines. Oh yeah, I see that. For example, press play to hear the ratchet in action. As you can hear, it sounds identical to the 4 split event we performed earlier. With ratchets, you have the freedom to play around with the amount of splitting simply by changing the length of the blue ratchet bar. You can have a maximum of 8 splits in a ratchet. Notice that the ratchet is not applied until you release your finger from the blue bar. Set the ratchet to whatever value you prefer, even an odd number like 3. How do you know the number that it's at though? Like 1 ratchet, 2, 1. Oh, okay, there. 3, I see. It shows up right there in a faint color. Ratchets are a type of automation event which can be applied to sequences to change the way they play back without actually changing any of the underlying note of these types of events in more detail later on. So now we'll go back to main and we'll load up splitevents.sxq. For anybody just joining us now, thank you for joining us. Happy Valentine's Day. We have about 10 minutes left in this stream. What we're doing is we're just doing a quick overview of the MPCX and going through the MPCX Bible. I'm just reading it firsthand. So if you do have the MPCX Bible, you can load up the files the way I am and follow exactly along with what I'm doing. I'm here every day from 10 to 11 a.m. in the Eastern Time Zone in Canada. But please join us wherever you are in the world. If you've been in here for 10 minutes, jump in the chat and chat with others. Be glad to have some conversation going. Any feedback on what I'm doing would be great too. So stay tuned, and we'll be here every day. Now let's move on from where we were. All automation events, ratchets are non-destructive, meaning they can be easily changed or even removed without impacting the underlying node events. A split event is destructive in that once you split an event into 8 separate events, you can only go back by either using the undo button or by recreating the original event. If you are revisiting a sequence at a later date, the undo history will not be able to assist you, as it is wiped each time you reload the project. But adding ratchets in grid view is a bit fiddly. Perhaps it's something Akai will improve upon over time, but Later in the course, we'll learn about list edit, which provides a numerical way to view and manipulate sequence data which you might prefer. Alright, so that leaves us at drum layering. We're going to start chapter 6 tomorrow, I think. For now, I'll just play some outro music for you guys and jump in the chat and chat with anybody if you're in here catching this. So I'll load up a new project, and I'll put some music on for you guys to hear what maybe I've been working on. Last Sunday, we just built a simple beat from scratch with samples that I've gotten from either Splice or one of the expansion packs I got, the Kung Fu and Crime Sounds. I made like a gunshot type beat, but we can listen to it again. Hope you enjoy. Thank you for joining. tuning in. Be back again tomorrow, 11 to 12. I mean 10 to 11. 10 to 11.